In this video, we will learn about the electrovalent or ionic bond. So we know that atoms combine together to acquire the nearest noble gas configuration. So when the combining atoms, they acquire the nearest noble gas configuration by complete transfer of one or more electrons from one atom to another, the bond thus formed is called electrovalent or ionic bond. Means whenever there is transfer of electron from one atom to another, that is called ionic bond. Why it is called ionic bond? Because one of the combining atom loses its valence electron and change into positive ion, which we call as cation, while the other atom which gains these electrons and gets converted into negative ion, it is known as anion. So as ion formation takes place, that's why the bond between these ions is known as ionic bond. So where we can say each combining atom acquires the stable configuration of the nearest noble gas by simultaneous loss and gain of electrons. And then these oppositely charged ions, they are held together by electrostatic force of attraction in a three-dimensional definite geometric pattern to form ionic crystal. So we can say ionic or electrovalent bond is defined as the electrostatic force which holds the oppositely charged ions. Now we will see how this ionic bond is formed. So we have some examples. Firstly, we have formation of sodium chloride. So we know that sodium has atomic number 11 and the configuration of sodium, the electronic configuration is 281. So now in order to acquire the configuration of nearest noble gas, that is neon here in this case, which has the configuration 2,8, it will lose its outermost electron, because once it loses the outermost electron, it will become 28 just like neon. So what it does is it loses its outermost electron and changes into sodium cation, because we know when an atom loses its electron, cation is formed. So here we can see sodium, which is 281, after losing an electron becomes Na plus, which is 2,8. Now let us talk about chlorine. So chlorine, which is atomic number 17, it has the electronic configuration 287. So it accepts the electron lost by sodium atom to complete its octet and acquire the electronic configuration of the nearest noble gas. Now in the case of chlorine, the nearest noble gas is argon. So it is not going to lose 7 electrons, as it requires a lot of energy also, but rather what is easy for chlorine is gaining 1 electron to become like nearest noble gas argon. So it will form chloride anion. So chlorine 287 gains an electron to form Cl minus. Now how these sodium and chloride ions are going to help each other? Now this positively charged sodium cation and negatively charged chloride anion, as they approach each other, they are held together by strong electrostatic force of attraction, and here we can show the formation of ionic bond. So sodium, what it is going to do, it will transfer its valence electron to chlorine. So in this way, both of them will be able to acquire their nearest noble gas configuration. So sodium will form Na plus and Cl will form Cl minus. So here this is the Lewis dot representation of formation of sodium chloride, where we will just show the valence electron. So sodium has 1 valence electron, it gets transferred to chlorine, which has 7 valence electron. Now sodium is not having any electron in the outermost shell, so it becomes Na plus, and chlorine is now having 8 electrons in the valence shell. So this is how transfer of electron from sodium to chlorine takes place, and it results in the formation of ionic bond. Let's see some other examples. In the case of calcium oxide, calcium has the configuration 2882. So it has 2 valence electron, while oxygen has the electronic configuration 2,6. Now what happens is oxygen requires 2 electron to become stable, and calcium needs to lose 2 electrons to become stable. So what happens is calcium will lose its 2 electron to form Ca2 plus ion, whereas oxygen is going to gain those 2 electrons lost by calcium to form oxide, which is O2 minus ion. And these two oppositely charged ions, they will be bonded together to give calcium oxide. So here we can see that transfer of electrons takes place from calcium to oxygen to form Ca2 plus and O2 minus, and this is the electron dot structure of calcium oxide, where two electrons, the valence electrons of calcium, they are transferred to oxygen and CaO is formed. So I hope the ionic bond concept is clear to you. Thank you.